Some cars were built to be practical, some were built to be comfortable, and some were built for one reason only: to satisfy the rules. In the 1980s and early 1990s, manufacturers had to build road-going versions of their competition machines to go racing. But what started as regulation quickly turned into something else. An era of madness. Turbocharged violence, wild aerodynamics, lightweight engineering. Cars that looked barely civilized, because in truth, they were not. These were not ordinary performance cars. They were machines born from competition, shaped by obsession, and unleashed onto the street. And some of them became legends forever. The BMW E30 M3 was one of the clearest examples of that philosophy. It was not created to chase luxury or straight-line dominance. It was built to win. Developed for touring car racing, the E30 M3 turned balance, precision and control into its greatest strengths. Its boxy arches, sharp responses and high-revving character made it feel focused in a way few road cars ever have. It was not the most brutal machine of its era, but it did not need to be. It was disciplined, confident and devastatingly effective. The E30 M3 was not the loudest monster here, but it may have been the most precise. A car that turned engineering clarity into motorsport domination. Then came the Lancia Delta HF Integrale, a machine that carried the spirit of rallying in every line of its body. Compact, aggressive and full of intent, the Integrale became one of the defining icons of Group A rally competition. Its all-wheel drive grip, turbocharged power and unmistakable stance made it feel like a weapon for mountain roads and wet tarmac. This was not just a fast hatchback, it was a road car shaped by victory, by pressure, and by a manufacturer determined to stay on top. The Delta Integrale was more than a rally car adapted for the street. It became the symbol of an era when Lancia ruled with total confidence and relentless aggression. If the Lancia looked sharp, the Audi Sport Quattro S1 looked completely unhinged. Short wheelbase, brutally boosted, and wrapped in outrageous aerodynamic elements, the S1 became one of the wildest machines ever associated with rallying. It was born from the madness of Group B, a category that pushed power, danger and spectacle to extraordinary levels. This was not a car designed to feel friendly. It was designed to win in conditions that often bordered on chaos. The Audi Sport Quattro S1 was short, violent and unforgettable. It made the Group B era feel less like normal motorsport and more like controlled insanity. Then there was the Porsche 959, a machine that took a completely different approach to performance. Where others felt raw and confrontational, the 959 felt intelligent, advanced and almost futuristic. It used sophisticated all-wheel drive, lightweight materials, and highly developed engineering to create something that was not only fast, but revolutionary. At a time when many performance cars still relied on brute force, the 959 showed that technology could be every bit as devastating. The Porsche 959 was not simply fast for its time. It redefined the idea of what a supercar could be. Proof that intelligence, precision and innovation could feel just as extreme as noise and aggression. And then came the Ferrari F40, perhaps the purest icon of them all. No unnecessary luxury, no attempt to soften the experience. Just sharp lines, twin-turbo power, lightweight construction, and an attitude that felt almost hostile. The F40 was built to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, but it became far more than a commemorative model. It became a legend. A machine that looked dramatic, sounded dangerous, and demanded respect
from anyone brave enough to drive it properly. The Ferrari F40 did not need complexity to feel extreme. It was loud, raw, unforgiving, and honest. A car that still feels dangerous even by modern standards.
These cars were built because racing rules demanded road-going versions. But what manufacturers created went far beyond simple obligation. They built monsters, machines designed for competition, then unleashed on the street. If you want more stories about legendary cars, subscribe to Art and Octane. New videos every week.